morning students. Myself Rachna Shukla welcomes you to our YouTube channel of Gyanmanjri Model School. Today we are going to start with subject social science, and our ongoing lesson is lesson number 1, Rise of British Rule in India of standard 9. And in the previous many videos we saw about how the Governor General slowly came to India, how they came to Calicut, and then we saw the two battles, the main two battles, that is Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. And with the Battle of Plassey in the year 1757, the foundation of the company's rule or the British rule was laid in India. We also saw that along with the East India Company there were the Portuguese people, the Dutch, the Danish and the French people also came from the Europeans to India. Now in this part we will see the topic of expansion of the company rule. With Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar, already Bengal, Bihar and Orissa was under the rule of the Britishers, that is the company, that is the East India Company. Now let's see what happened in 1773 AD. See, in the year 1773 AD, as I have mentioned here, a resolution was passed by the company that the General of Bengal has to be made the Governor General of the whole company in India, and all the trade and the political decisions will be under his control. So, accordingly to that resolution in 1773 AD, Warren Hastings, a person named as Warren Hastings, was made the first Governor General in India. He was the company's man, the East India Company's man, Warren Hastings, and he was the first Governor General in India. Now what he did, after becoming the Governor General, his main motive was to expand the company's rule in India. He wanted to capture India. So he fought the first Maratha war. He started fighting wars with our kings, with Indian kings, and capturing their kingdoms. So the first Maratha war was fought. After that, the second Mysore war was fought with Hyder Ali. With whom? With Hyder Ali. So the first Maratha war and the second Mysore war was fought with Hyder Ali and Warren Hastings. So in both these wars, Warren Hastings won and he captured the kingdom. After that, Cornwallis came as the Governor General. So the period of Warren Hastings was over and Warren Hastings went away, and after him Cornwallis became the Governor General. So Cornwallis fought the battle of the third Mysore war with Tipu Sultan. But at that time Tipu Sultan was very strong. He was known as the Tiger of Mysore. So Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore, it was very difficult to defeat Tipu Sultan. But Cornwallis had to fight the third Mysore war. So for defeating Tipu Sultan, he joined hands with Marathas and the Nizams. At that time Marathas were very strong. So Cornwallis joined hands with Marathas and Nizam to fight against Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan was very strong, but against the combined forces of these three people, that is Cornwallis, the second Governor General, Marathas and the Nizam, Tipu Sultan could not withstand and he lost the battle. So according to the treaty, he had to give some of the provinces to Cornwallis. So one more winning of the East India Company. The third one, the third Governor General to come to India was Sir John Shore. So the first one was Warren Hastings, the second one was Cornwallis, and the third one was Sir John Shore. So after Cornwallis, Sir John Shore came to India, but he did not stay very long in India because he had some rigid policies. He accepted some rigid policies. He forced people to accept the rigid policies. So the company's fame declined accordingly. The company's growth was not there in the rule of Sir John Shore. So he was sent back to England, and in his place the fourth Governor General which came to India was Wellesley. Now Wellesley was very smart person. He came to India at the fourth position as the Governor General in India. Wellesley came and he gave subsidiary alliance system. So he introduced a system in India, that is subsidiary alliance system. So subsidiary alliance system was given by Wellesley. Now what he did, according to this system, he forced the kingdoms, the kings to accept the system. The kingdoms or the kings has to accept the system, and according to that system, what the kingdom had to do, the king or the kingdom will be provided a group of armies by the East India Company. Okay students, the first point of the subsidiary alliance system is provide army. That means the East India Company, listen carefully, the East India Company will provide army to the kings, our kings, Indian kings, and in return, point number 2, in return the state have to give a part of that army to maintain the army, or a part of their province according to the army given. That means they have not given army in free, but they gave English army, East India Company's army to the kings, and in return the kings had to give some part of their provinces. Now the third one, the king cannot sign any treaty or wage a war without the permission of the East India Company or without the permission of Wellesley. The third and the important point, no treaty, not signing any treaty, no deals, no agreement, or the king cannot fight a war with any other king without the permission of Wellesley. These all were the rules of the subsidiary alliance system. Then the fourth one. The fourth one is one English representative will be there in the state assembly. All of you know that the king has his own court, and all the people come to the court to solve their problems, and all the financial and economic decisions are held in that court. So in that court or the state assembly, one English representative will be there of the company. Now what they will do, they will sit in the court, they will know all the things, all the affairs, financial and the economic affairs, and then they will report everything to the company, that is Wellesley. So this was very tricky or very understandable system. The fifth one, no foreign employees. So the king cannot employ any foreign person in his state assembly without the permission of the company. All the persons will be of his own state and one person of the company. Other no foreigners means no person of any other state will be allowed as a member in the state. So these were the 5 rules of the subsidiary alliance system, and many states signed the system, signed the treaty, and they joined the hands with Wellesley. But Wellesley was a very smart man. He did not wanted to do good to the kingdom or the kings of our country, but he wanted to capture the kingdoms of our king through this system. So by accepting the treaty, our kings were in the hands of Wellesley. They were totally under the control of Wellesley. How? You have seen these 5 points. They will provide the army. In return, we have to give the provinces. Third, we cannot sign the war or sign treaty. Fourth, one English representative in the state assembly which will give each and every information to Wellesley. And the fifth, no foreign employees in our state. So these were the 5 compulsory rules for signing the treaty, for accepting the subsidiary alliance system. Now there were many of our states who were under the system, who signed the treaty of this system, and those states were, the first one was Nizam, the second one was Mysore state, the third one was Awadh, the fourth one was Gaikwads, next Scindia, Bhosle and Holkar. So these were the states who accepted the Treaty of Wellesley, that is subsidiary alliance system, and they were totally trapped with Wellesley, under Wellesley. They lost their provinces slowly and gradually. Now subsidiary alliance system was like a sweet poison. Yes, of course it was a poison, but it was not very dangerous poison. It was like a sweet poison. How? These rules were, some of the rules were good for the state, some of the rules were not very good, but so it was like a sweet poison. Then Wellesley went to Tipu Sultan with the proposal of signing the treaty. Which treaty? Subsidiary alliance system. But Tipu Sultan refused to sign. Tipu Sultan was a very brave king, as we saw here. He fought many wars with the previous governor generals. That is the first Maratha war, then the third Mysore war. All these wars were fought with Tipu Sultan. He stayed strong. He remained strong and protected his province. So, as Tipu Sultan refused to sign the treaty with Wellesley, Wellesley attacked Mysore. But as you know, Tipu Sultan was the tiger of Mysore, so it was difficult to defeat Tipu Sultan. So he attacked Mysore with the help of Nizam. See, Nizam had already signed subsidiary alliance system. So Nizam was under the control of company, under the control of Wellesley. So Nizam helped to attack Mysore, and finally in the fourth Mysore war, Tipu Sultan lost his life and he died. He could not withstand against Wellesley and Nizam, because Wellesley and Nizam had joined hands to defeat Tipu Sultan. And in the year 1799, see, remember the year 1799, Tipu Sultan died. He lost the battle, the fourth Mysore war, and Mysore was finally captured or controlled or taken over by Wellesley. So this was all about the tenure or the period of Wellesley. He had established the subsidiary alliance system in India. Now we will see what happened after Wellesley. After Wellesley, another Governor General came to India, and that was Hastings, Warren Hastings. Again, Wellesley was at the fourth position, and after that came Hastings. Now see, Wellesley went back to England. After Wellesley, again Hastings came to India. What did Hastings do? Warren Hastings, the same person, the first Governor General, again became the fifth Governor General. Hastings waged a war with Nepal. Nepal means the northern part of India, a different country, our neighboring country. He waged a war with Nepal and he took control over Gurkhas. The people living in Nepal are known as Gurkhas. After that, he also waged a war with Pindaras, and Pindaras lost the battle. So he took control over Nepal, that is Gurkhas people and Pindaras people. Then he fought the third Maratha war, and in that war the Marathas got defeated, and accordingly with defeating the Marathas, the company spread its rule in the northern part of India. See, Hastings did three things in India. That is, first he did the war with Nepal, and after fighting the war with Nepal, he took control over the Gurkhas people. He joined Gurkhas in his army. Actually, Gurkhas are very strong people of northern India. Then he waged a war with Pindaras. Pindaras also lost the war, and Pindaras came under the control of Hastings. After Pindaras, the third Maratha war was fought between the Marathas and the Hastings, and in that Maratha lost the war and the company spread its rule in the northern part of India. After Hastings, the sixth Governor General was William Bentinck. Who was the sixth Governor General? William Bentinck. But actually William Bentinck was very liberal person. His deeds were very liberal. He did not fought any war in our country. He thought that having a very strict rule was bad for the company. So he was very good person, a liberal person. His deeds were very liberal in India. So he did not stay very long in India. The company called him back to England as he was liberal. So in our history, William Bentinck is known as the Liberal Governor General, a good person. He did not fought many wars in India. And after William Bentinck, another Governor General came to India who expanded more in India, and about that person we will talk in our next video. So this was all for today. Different Governor Generals came to India. They expanded their rule in India. So we learned about many Governor Generals, starting with Warren Hastings. Then came William Bentinck. Then came Wellesley, William Bentinck, Sir John Shore, then William Bentinck. All these people came to India, expanded their rule to India and showed their talent in India. Okay, now we will continue our lecture in the next part. Now it's time for your homework. So take out your book, rough book, and start writing the questions, the 1 mark question. Number 1, you will continue with your last number. What was the previous number? You will continue from that number itself, and you have to submit it in your WhatsApp group. Number 1, who was made the Nawab of Bengal after Battle of Plassey? I repeat, who was made the Nawab of Bengal after the Battle of Plassey? Next, after dethroning Mir Jafar, who was made the Nawab of Bengal? After dethroning Mir Jafar, who was made the Nawab of Bengal? Third one, where did Mir Qasim took refuge? Third one, where did Mir Qasim took refuge? Next, between whom was the Battle of Buxar fought? Between whom was the Battle of Buxar fought? Next, what did the company achieve after Battle of Buxar? I repeat, what did the company achieve after Battle of Buxar? Next, in which year the English government passed a regulating act? Starting of this session, the questions. In which year the English government passed a regulating act? Next, who was the first Governor General of India? I repeat, who was the first Governor General of India? Next, which wars were fought during the time period of Warren Hastings? Which wars were fought during the period of Warren Hastings? Next, who was the Governor General after Warren Hastings? Who was the Governor General after Warren Hastings? Next, who is known as the Tiger of Mysore? Who is known as the Tiger of Mysore? Next, Who became the Governor General after Cornwallis? Who became the Governor General after Cornwallis? Next, who became the Governor General after Sir John Shore? Who became the Governor General after Sir John Shore? Next, who introduced the subsidiary alliance system? Who introduced the subsidiary alliance system? Next, which rulers accepted the subsidiary alliance system? Which rulers accepted the subsidiary alliance system? The last one, which system was like the sweet poison? Which system was like the sweet poison? Okay, students, so that was all for today. Our SS topic is completed. We will meet in the next part, next video. Complete your homework in Fairbook. Please note down the answers and submit it in your WhatsApp group between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me your question in that WhatsApp group. Okay.